My mother-in-law asked if I could upsize a dress for her. This dress is in her size, but the style is too form-fitting and she would like it better if it didn't hug her belly so much. I'm thinking we open up the side seams on both sides of the dress and add new black fabric to loosen it up. I could just add a small section of fabric to create godets and open up the skirt, but I want the new fabric to look like it's actually part of the design, so full panels it is. After seam ripping the sides of the dress open, I threw the dress back on my mother-in-law to see how much fabric needs to be added so the skirt can drape nicely over her belly instead of hugging it. I'm thinking of adding 2 inches on top and at least 4 inches at the bottom to flare out the skirt. It's helpful to pin the new fabric to the sides of the dress so you can see what everything looks like. The sides of the dress curve in at the waist and the hips, so I trimmed some of it away so that it's more of a straight line. Then I cut 2 strips of black stretchy fabric out. The choice of fabric is up to you, but try to choose something that is the same weight, fabric type, and a matching color so it's not too noticeable. I'm adding a couple inches to the top of the dress, and as we reach the bottom, it's going to flare out and be bigger since that's the area we need to add more room to. Now I can pin the black panels to the sides of the dress and sew them down. I made a couple mistakes here by pinning the black fabric from top to bottom instead of bottom to top, and then right afterwards sewing with a strong stretch stitch instead of starting with a basting stitch just to try on first. Because after sewing one side of the panel down, the fabric ended up being too short at the armhole on the other side, so I had to seam rip my stretch stitch open, and if you've ever seam ripped a stretch stitch, you know it takes forever. The second time around, I pinned the panel from bottom to top. This way I know both sides are lined up with the hem, and then whatever fabric is left over at the armhole can just be trimmed away. Once the black panels are sewn to both sides of the dress, we checked the fit, and then I finished the raw edges on my serger. I remarked the armhole, and to finish it off, I had to undo the original armhole seam and remove the finishings. Then I trimmed the extra black fabric away and created a new finishing for the armhole and re-sewed it all together so it looks nice and cohesive. Once the armhole was finished, the very last step is to hem the dress. I worked on this dress over 2 days and I'm finally done. Here is the before. And here is the after. The dress is visibly looser fitting now, and I was scared the black panels were gonna look funny, but they ended up blending in so well with the dress. Like and follow for more sewing tutorials.